An interesting aspect of my research of you and your biography is your unwavering, I would say, passion or interest in education. Several of your awards have come from the educational field, but yet you aren't an educator. I mean, you're in the capital markets. Where does that come from? What do you think that is?
Well, I was fortunate to have a private education, and,
sure.
and so and I've just always viewed the blessing that I had from an educational standpoint, and the interest that I've developed in public education is something that public education is extremely challenging.
Sure.
But something that when you look at things that can make such a difference in the lives of the individuals who are affected by it, and when you look at what it can mean for our community and the future of our community, education is one of the levers that we can pull to make things really happen. And so I've really gotten interested in it. Again, the challenge is admire the work of educators. The hard work, the criticism that they're subject to along the way. And that was really the inspiration behind the Hilliard Lyons Teacher Excellence Awards that you mentioned, is the desire to recognize teachers for their hard work. We've got so many caring teachers out there, and I felt strongly that we needed to balance the message a little bit and support them. But it's a tough job, and I think it's something that I've just gained a real appreciation and respect for, and felt the need to support it. And again, I think it can help individuals and really help our community.
This question's kind of a global, looking at financial services and the millennials, the generation coming up. You've been in the business again since 1981, so almost 2 generations, give or take, of types and styles and cultures and attitudes towards monetary things, etc. What do you see with the group coming up? Are they more conservative? Are they more liberal? Do you see the same patterns repeating? What do you see? Is human nature is where I'm getting, I guess.
And it's interesting because, of course, we're very interested in
Sure.
from a business standpoint, in the transfer of wealth that's forthcoming, and what do we need to do from an industry standpoint, from a business standpoint, to be relevant. And the industry research suggests that the millennials want the same relationships that their parents have.
There you go.
And so while the methods of communication and the way that they want to be reached is different, and as an industry we're adjusting to that, I think the good news for financial services is they want the same advice, the same relationships that their parents have enjoyed. And so that's what we want to do, is make sure that we're prepared to deliver that advice, but also communicate with them in a way that's effective for them.
One interesting aspect I like to bring up when I interview people in the financial services world is, we had the Great Depression, they've nicknamed it the Great Recession. Kind of what I inferred earlier. Are we as humans just determined, if we haven't experienced a downturn, to force ourselves to experience one? Meaning, is it self-fulfilling that we kind of go through these steps of, like the 7 steps of grief or greed or whatever the case may be? This is my opinion, by the way.
Yeah, probably so.
Okay.
So, the last meltdown was probably precipitated by leverage, excessive leverage, in large part. And so while we may have learned some lessons, and it may take some time for that to bubble up again, and there may be something else.
Sure.
But you're right that a lot of it is sort of self-imposed and driven by excessive behavior.